This is an alteration that I put down to just a general repair. So generally this happens on men's trousers. They've got a hook and a bar most times. Sometimes they have a button as well. But what can happen is that that bar can actually pull away and or break, and it can sometimes tear. So I'm just going to put a photo up now of one that has been torn. And if that happens, you really need to repair that first. So what I'm going to do is show you how to replace this. So there are two options that you have. But also there are a couple of different types of ways that bands are put on. For example, this one, I'll do a close-up in a sec. For the zipper, this section here, because I've got to get in there, this is going to have to be undone. Whereas on this pair of trousers, it's just the band, so all I'd have to do is unpick the band there to get in and repair that. So it depends on, you know, how the garment's constructed as to how you're going to get in there and repair it. But I'll now come to some close-ups and show you what to do. So we'll do this one first, and because I said before, this section here is attached onto the zip, but it has been sewn on after the zip has been put in, so unpicking it shouldn't affect the zip at all. So we've just got to undo that little bit there, and you can see that it's had no effect at all on the zipper. But what it does do is allow us to get into here. Now, in here, on the back of that bar, there should have been a clip, and there it is. So I'll show you what I mean by that. This is my little box of tricks for this particular general alteration. So usually, this is a piece that's come off. Got a few of these, I saved them. Here's another one. So when I keep everything, right? I've got a little container for different things. This is my hooks and bars, all the different types. So what happens is that this actually goes onto the back like that. That goes through the fabric, and then this gets clipped down. So the way to repair that is really quite simple. If you've got some of these, all you've got to do is push that back into there, if it hasn't torn, of course. So you've just got to push that back into there like that, come around to this side, and I think it goes on this way, like that. And then you just need some pliers, little ones, which I've got. Once that's down like that, then you can just give it a bit of a, just be careful with the fabric with this. That in. Click that in. And that's it, it's back on. So that's what it looks like. And now all we have to do is just stitch that back up, and that's sewn, not on the wrong side, but just sewn like that. So we'll stitch that back up, and that's repaired. So you can see how quickly that took to fix it. So, but what happens if you don't have one of these? What you can do is you can purchase these at a haberdashery shop. Now this is a skirt one, and they're a little bit different. You can see the way that they're designed, so you can actually hand stitch in those holes, and or here, and or you can buy bigger ones. So this is a really big one. This one, again, you know, the sizes vary. So you just purchase the size that you need. There's another type altogether, so that's where one's come off and I've kept it. And so all you have to do really is hand stitch them on. So that's, for example, that's a hand stitch bar. So instead of putting that bar back on, so let's say you've lost that, and like that photo I've just shown you, and I'll put it up again, which has got a tear. So what you would do is undo that, darn that area because it has to be darned, and anyway it's going to be hidden, so you're not going to see it. So darn that, and then you just have to hand stitch that on because you won't have that there. Hand stitch it on. Just make sure that it fits into that hook there, which it does. Well, maybe we'll go a little bit bigger. So if you're going to go to the haberdashery shop, you're going to have to look around for one that's that size. This is a black one. There you go. So that one fits. So you could put that on. Okay, so that's how you would repair a hook and bar. And like I said to you before, I'll just show you a close-up of this. So there's that different type again. See that type there is different from that type there. And I showed you one from in here, which looks a bit like that. That's come off. There it is there. And so if you were going to get to this to repair it, all you would do is unpick the band like that, undo the back section only. More than likely the front is stitched down. I mean, sometimes you can get that they top stitch them both together, but generally, so that's closed still, but that gives you access to the back, and you can see there's the covers on them. So if that was broken away, you'd find the loose cover and take it off, and then you would replace it. If it needed darning, you'd darn it, and then you would replace it with something like that if you want to, if you don't have those. If you're going to sew one on, grab your thread, pull it out once, pull it out twice, cut it, fold it in half so that you've now got 2 threads, and then thread that through your needle. So you now got 2 threads through the needle, which means it becomes 4. Tie a knot at the end by just rolling it like that. Tidy it up by giving it a clip. Now you got the thread ready. Now there's 2 ways you can stitch this on. You can go through across this way or across each end. So I'm just going to go through. So like so, and then through there. And because you've got 4 threads, it takes you a smaller amount of time. Got to find the hole, of course. So that should really be enough. And then you can just run it through there. So up to the other end. You can't see that. And then through this end. One. And because you've got 4 threads, as long as you lock it off either end, it should be secure. So it's through like that, and then you can just lock it off this side. So go through the fabric, and then when it's almost to a small loop at the end, push your needle through and lock it off. and then do that a second time, just for safety's sake, and lock it off. And that's it, and trim that, and it's stitched on. So now that does up, and then the button does up. It's finished.